Let me set the scene for you. Imagine a franchise standing on the edge of glory, and then shoving its future off the cliff. The Cleveland Browns thought the storm had already passed when they benched Shedeur Sanders, thought the nightmare had bottomed out. But the truth? That was only the calm before the real explosion. What's coming isn't just drama, it's a tectonic shift in the NFL. And you're about to watch the whole thing unravel. I thought we'd already hit rock bottom when Cleveland benched Shadur Sanders. But no, what I thought was the finale was just the opening act. Because today, the rookie quarterback they refused to unleash just got ambushed with a $90 million mega deal. From a rival franchise. That's not a mere contract. That's a siren wailing across the league. A grenade rolling across the Browns' war room floor. A declaration of war painted in bold, neon letters. And now, Cleveland isn't just scrambling, they're spiraling. You want the unfiltered truth, the raw, uncut drama the highlight reels won't show? Stick with me. While Jimmy Haslam and Kevin Stefanski were busy playing gatekeepers, another organization looked at Sanders, benched, disrespected, and said, "We see you. We believe in you. Here's the bag to prove it."
Tired of boring phone cases? Here's your chance. My Etsy shop is packed with exclusive designs that let you show off your team pride in style. And the best part? You'll unlock discounts when you hit favorite, more savings when you add to cart, and even surprise discounts on your second purchase. Don't wait. Click the link in the description and grab your favorite now.
Let that number echo in your head. $90 million. Generational wealth. Private jets, Lamborghinis, a lifetime of receipts ready to slam down in front of every critic who whispered, maybe you should have waited your turn. But this deal isn't just about money. Reports say it comes with endorsements, brand control, even influence over coaching hires. They're not offering Sanders a starting job, they're handing him the keys to the kingdom. Meanwhile in Cleveland, the man can't even get a reliable headset on game day. The same franchise that caged its most electric weapon is now watching its golden ticket paraded around like a championship trophy by teams that actually understand what it means to win. This isn't simple roster politics. This is a hostile takeover aimed straight at Cleveland's future, its fan base, and the fragile credibility of its front office. And the cruelest part? They did this to themselves. You don't draft a quarterback with Shedeur Sanders' talent, swagger, and sky-high ceiling just to chain him to the bench. Not unless you're begging for half the locker room to glare at you like you're tanking on purpose. This was never just about football. It was about power, control. A front office so desperate to suppress greatness, they forgot the one truth you cannot bury. You can't bottle a wildfire. Now that wildfire is being fanned by predators, the Dolphins whispering promises of speed and sunshine. The Raiders dangling the neon glow of Vegas. The Jets positioning him as the crown jewel of football's biggest media market. Executives are sketching jersey mock-ups, clearing cap space, polishing pitches slick enough to make Hollywood jealous. Meanwhile, Jimmy Haslam is in damage control mode. Veterans are openly questioning leadership. Rookies are reposting Sanders' practice highlights with captions like, "We know." Fans are burning merch. Local radio is running countdowns to decision day. Sports columns are publishing open letters titled, "Let him leave, he deserves better." Through it all, Shadur Sanders stays silent. No tweets, no interviews, no leaks. Just calm, calculated meetings with his camp while the city burns. That silence, it's deafening. It's the sound of power shifting. Because Sanders isn't just a bench quarterback anymore, he's become a symbol. A lightning rod for everything Cleveland refuses to embrace. And the entire league is watching. This isn't just Cleveland's catastrophe. This is the blueprint for the modern NFL. Bet on yourself and win. Rookies no longer wait 3 polite years for a turn, they demand the stage. Power doesn't sit in an owner's suite anymore. It walks onto the field in custom cleats, fully aware of its worth. If Sanders takes that deal and bolts, the Browns don't just lose a quarterback, they lose everything. Draft credibility, gone. Fan loyalty, shattered. Sponsorships and ticket sales, evaporated. That fragile sense of hope Cleveland has clung to for decades, vaporized overnight. And across the league, GMs are scribbling a new commandment into their playbooks: respect the star or regret it forever. This saga could rewrite rookie negotiations, redefine power dynamics, and force franchises to rethink not just talent evaluation, but how they treat their players. This isn't just football anymore. This is leverage. And Cleveland's grip is slipping. And here's the bitter truth. It was all avoidable. All they had to do was let him play. Give the city something to believe in. Instead, they tried to play 4D chess against a man playing an entirely different game. Now they're boxed in. Either let him leave and become the league's eternal cautionary tale, or beg him to stay and publicly admit they botched their crown jewel. Even if they keep him, it won't be loyalty, it'll be leverage. The cost has skyrocketed. That $90 million. It's not just a number anymore, it's the benchmark. To keep him tethered to Cleveland, they'll need more than cash. They'll need transformation, authority, real power. No more stage press releases about development. No more fragile excuses about system fit. Because Shadur Sanders doesn't fit the system, he is the system. And if Cleveland refuses to see it, someone else already does. So what happens now? Does Haslam swallow his pride and hand over the keys? Does Stefanski survive if he digs in? Do the fans rally or walk away? Cleveland sits dead center in the storm's eye. Mishandle this any worse, and they won't just lose Shadur, they'll lose Cleveland. Tell me, if you were in their shoes, would you cash him out, hand him control, and lock down your future? Or let him walk and become forever remembered as the franchise that bartered away destiny for the illusion of control? Drop your thoughts below, hit subscribe, and stay locked in, because if Shedeur Sanders inks that $90 million deal, this won't just be another headline. This will mark the dawn of a new NFL era. And the Browns? They'll be the cautionary tale whispered to rookies on draft night for the next decade. Don't end up like Cleveland. And if you thought the $90 million figure was the explosion, wait for the aftershocks. This isn't a scandal anymore. It's an existential crisis for the Browns, for their identity, their credibility, their fragile grip on relevance. Because Shedeur Sanders isn't simply a quarterback. He's the quarterback, the one magnetic force who could have pulled Cleveland out of its decades-long identity crisis and into the modern NFL spotlight. And now, he's halfway out the door. An entire league is holding it open. You ever watch a slow-motion car crash? That's what this feels like. I'm standing here, staring straight at the Cleveland Browns, and I can't believe they're actually doing this. They had greatness, lightning in a bottle, right there in their hands. And instead of holding on, instead of seizing the moment, they're sawing through their own lifeline. Here's the tragedy. Kevin Stefanski had a chance. He could have flipped the script, reversed the benching, called it a reevaluation, spun it as redemption. The fans would have swallowed a whole. The locker room would have unclenched its fists. The media? They would have turned it into a comeback story, the kind that makes NFL films drool. But no, he doubled down. And now Stefanski might be coaching on borrowed time, because barreling toward this franchise is a decision so massive it could rewrite Cleveland's entire identity. Either the Browns hand over everything, cash, sponsorships, creative control, to keep Shedeur Sanders, or they watch him walk out the door in slow motion while fans torch jerseys in the parking lot. Don't you dare underestimate what's at stake here. This isn't just football. This is cultural currency. This is economic survival for a fan base that's been bleeding hope since 1999. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a quarterback, he's a movement. He's box office gold. He's primetime slots, jersey sales, brand deals, and pure unfiltered hope. Lose him, and it's not just about losing games, you lose the city. The stadium empties. The sponsors vanish. The dog pound turns into a crater of resentment. The Browns don't just become bad, they become irrelevant. Dead man walking. And just imagine what happens if Shedeur Sanders signs with the Cowboys or the Jets and sets the league on fire. Every touchdown he throws will be a dagger straight through Cleveland's pride. Every post-game highlight, another headline they could have owned. And every single MVP vote, it'll be another ghost-haunting Berea. The internet will be ruthless. Analysts have already been shouting for months. Start him, play him, don't waste him. Cleveland ignored it. And now the rest of the league is holding the receipts. The clock is ticking louder by the hour. Jimmy Haslam has to ask himself, what is he willing to sacrifice to salvage his legacy? Pride? A coaching staff? The entire offensive scheme? Because this has outgrown ego. This is survival. Either you blow it all up and rebuild the empire around Sanders, or you watch him leave and light the NFL on fire wearing someone else's colors. And don't think for a second that Shedeur Sanders is bluffing. He's not emotional. He's not reactionary. He's calculated. Coach Prime didn't raise a fool. That $90 million offer wasn't a surprise, it was a weapon. This isn't just a quarterback controversy, it's a generational shift. The NFL has entered the player empowerment era, and Shedeur Sanders isn't knocking on the door, he's ripping it off the hinges. While Cleveland nitpicked over snap counts, other franchises were building kingdoms. We're talking equity deals, brand empires, influence over coaching hires, post-career planning. This isn't about football anymore. This is about power, about vision, about the future of the league. If the Browns fumble this, they become the NFL's greatest what if. ESPN documentaries, late-night talk shows, and endless Twitter threads will immortalize this as the moment Cleveland blinked. Sponsors will run, fans will riot, and the Browns' reputation? Shattered. Forever the team that stared greatness in the face and said, maybe next year. Think about it. He gave them his trust, his energy, his future. And what did they give him? A clipboard. Now another franchise is offering him a kingdom. And Haslam thinks he can PR spin betrayal? No, you can't talk your way out of this one. The only language that matters now is action, swift, ruthless, unapologetic action. The Browns are dangling off a cliff, clinging to a fraying rope named Shedeur Sanders. And somehow, unbelievably, they're the ones cutting it. TikTok, Cleveland. This is your final warning. Pay him. Start him. Build around him. Empower him. Or watch him become the legend you were too blind to believe in. And when he's hoisting Lombardi trophies in another city's colors, when he's rewriting record books for the Cowboys or Jets, don't act surprised. You had lightning in a bottle. And you tried to tighten the cap. So Browns fans, what would you do if you were Shadur Sanders? Would you stay loyal to the city that benched you? Or would you chase the kingdom you've earned? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story isn't done. And if Jimmy Haslam doesn't move fast, Cleveland's soul might walk out that door forever. And trust me, when that happens, the whole football world will be watching.